Marion?
Oscar? You should know, Aunt Ada is going to pay Mrs. Bauer's debt.
Then I must use every opportunity.
HBO exec Francesca Orsi just dropped some interesting hints about the Gilded Age Season 3, and it looks like New York's social scene is about to get even messier. In an interview with Deadline, she revealed that the new season will explore how divorce became a big topic during that era, along with its ties to arranged marriage. But that's not all. There are several other major storylines that Season 3 needs to wrap up before we head into Season 4. So we're breaking down everything we know so far, plus all the latest updates on Season 3. As always, let's dive right in. As we know, the Gilded Age Season 3 needs to deliver on the storylines that Season 2 left behind, setting the stage for both Season 3 and Season 4. One of the biggest shifts will be the changing power dynamics between Agnes and Ada. After Oscar Blake Ritson gets scammed and loses the family fortune, Ada, Cynthia Nixon, unexpectedly inherits a massive sum from her late husband Luke Ford, Sean Robert Leonard. This inheritance saves Agnes, Christine Baranski, from having to move, but it also means Ada now controls the household finances. The season finale hinted at the shift when Bannister Simon Jones deferred to Ada instead of Agnes, and Marion Louisa Jacobson pointed out that Ada would now be responsible for paying the staff's wages. Agnes has always been the one in charge, expecting Ada, Marion, and Oscar to follow her lead without question. But with Ada finally in a position of power, the two sisters will need to figure out a new balance. Both have valid claims. Agnes endured a difficult marriage to support Ada, but Ada's newfound wealth gives her the right to make decisions. Season 3 will have to explore how they navigate this change while keeping their relationship intact. Meanwhile, Jack and Larry's new business venture introduces another compelling arc. Jack Trotter, Ben Ahlers, spent much of Season 2 developing a new alarm clock mechanism and fighting to secure a patent. When he finally succeeds, Larry Russell, Harry Richardson, surprises him with an offer to become his business partner. This opportunity thrusts Jack into the elite business world, a realm dominated by the Russell family, who built their empire from the ground up. For Larry, this partnership could also signal a shift in career direction. While he initially pursued architecture, he hasn't been seen doing much in that field lately. Maybe working with Jack will push him towards something new. At the same time, Jack now has access to valuable resources through Larry and his self-made father, George Russell, Morgan Spector, which could fuel even bigger ambitions. Season 3 needs to show how these two navigate their new partnership and whether it brings them success or unexpected challenges. And of course, there's the growing tension between Oscar and Agnes. If Agnes was furious with Oscar before, she's downright livid now. Season 2 saw him pursuing Maud Beaton, Nicole Bryden Bloom, only for her to lead him into a scam that wiped out their entire fortune. While Ada's inheritance ensures the household will survive, it doesn't mean Oscar is off the hook. Agnes is bound to take her frustration out on him, especially as she struggles to accept Ada's new role as the family's financial provider. Meanwhile, Oscar will likely try to make amends, but if Agnes keeps holding his failure over his head, he may start pushing back. Their relationship has always been strained, but Season 3 could see it reach a breaking point. With all these threads in play, the Gilded Age Season 3 is shaping up to be a drama-packed ride. Hopefully, it delivers on all these storylines while keeping the show's signature mix of scandal, ambition, and high society drama intact. But beyond these personal conflicts, the real historical backdrop of the era could take the Gilded Age to an entirely new level, offering some of the most dynamic real events to weave into the show's pulpy period melodrama. One real-life figure whose downfall could make for an intriguing subplot is Ward McAllister, the social gatekeeper who compiled the famous 400 list of New York's elite. McAllister wasn't above accepting bribes from wannabe socialites looking to gain entry into high society, and his tell-all book, Society as I Have Found It, ultimately led to his social downfall. With his subterfuge between his patron, Mrs. Astor, and his new friend Bertha Russell, McAllister getting a taste of his own medicine would be a delicious plot twist. Then there's the shocking 1906 murder of architect Stanford White, a scandal that rocked New York society. White, who designed iconic structures like the Washington Square Arch, was infamously shot in the face by Harry Kendall Thaw after drugging and assaulting Thaw's wife, Evelyn Nesbit. For fans who have criticized the Gilded Age for lacking grit and excitement, incorporating this trial of the century would certainly add an extra layer of drama. Another significant historical figure who could enrich the show's narrative is Ida B. Wells, the black journalist leading the anti-lynching crusade at the time. Between 1882 and 1899, over 2,500 black men and women were lynched, and Wells bravely exposed these atrocities despite facing severe backlash, including having her newspaper office burned to the ground. Given Peggy Scott's history with the Globe and her growing awareness of racial injustices, this could be the perfect cause for her to champion, elevating her role within the show's broader historical context. At the same time, the Gilded Age could explore the founding of the White Rose Mission, established in 1897 to help black women in New York City. Figures like Victoria Earl Matthews worked to integrate black women into society, mirroring Fannie Barrier Williams' speech at the 1893 World's Congress of Representative Women, where she asserted that black women shared the same spirit and resilience as their white counterparts. So far, Peggy Scott and Mr. Fortune have been the show's main black lead characters, but there's plenty of historical material to expand on this storyline. Political corruption was also rampant in New York at the time, particularly within Tammany Hall, the city's Democratic Party Executive Committee. Figures like Boss Tweed and Richard Crocker controlled vast amounts of money and influence, but by the late 19th century, reform was taking shape. Showcasing this political battle could add layers of intrigue and stakes to the series, especially in how it affects the city's elite families. Another major historical event that could be featured is the opening of Ellis Island's main building in December 1900. With over 2,251 immigrants passing through that day alone, the massive influx of people changed the fabric of New York forever. So far, the Gilded Age has yet to fully convey the sheer scale of the city's rapid expansion, but integrating this moment could highlight its impact on class and racial tensions. On the more personal front, Bertha Russell's storyline could take an exciting turn if it follows Alva Vanderbilt's real-life trajectory. Like the Russells, the Vanderbilts were a powerful but scandal-ridden couple, with Alva orchestrating her daughter's marriage to British nobility for status rather than love. If Bertha attempts to arrange a similar match for Gladys, it could cause tension with George, who has encouraged his daughter to marry for love. Alva Vanderbilt also made history by divorcing her husband in 1895, a shocking move for a woman of her status. She later remarried a politician and became a leader in the suffragette movement. While no one wants to see Bertha and George split, this could provide a fascinating evolution for her character, possibly setting the stage for Bertha to take on a greater role in women's rights activism. With Marian and Larry finally sharing a kiss in the season 2 finale, their romance seems poised to blossom. Their relationship has been developing for 2 seasons, and now that they've both realized they might be perfect for each other, season 3 could explore their potential marriage. Finally, the Gilded Age could tie into Downton Abbey, with creator Julian Fellowes teasing a possible cameo from a familiar resident. With so much rich material to explore, season 3 has the potential to be the most exciting yet. That's a wrap for today's video. If you want to stay updated on all the latest movie and TV news, be sure to subscribe and drop a like. I'll be bringing you the Gilded Age Season 4 updates before Season 3 even drops, plus all the latest on your favorite shows and movies. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one.